to come to this roundtable. My name is Travis Spaulding. I am the Heavy Haul Tactical Manager, so I oversee our 5 and 6 axles within the Heavy Haul fleet. If we'd like to, I'll just maybe go around and introduce ourselves, say what division you're in, maybe say a little bit about yourself if you feel comfortable with it. I'd appreciate it. So if we could start with you. Perfect timing, just taking a bite of food.
My name's Wendy, and I'm in the Blackwell Reefers.
Okay. Welcome, Wendy.
My name's Michelle Dell, and I have 2.5 years driving experience. I'm starting out in the Blackwell Consolidation Reefer Unit.
Okay. Welcome, Michelle.
Thanks.
Sure.
John Herzog, going into Heavy Haul.
Welcome back, John.
Yep, I am a rehire.
Yeah.
Jan Christian Erickson. I'm a rehire for FAK.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Can we get the camera or no?
No, you don't have to. That's fine.
Trevor Flynn, I'm going in glass.
Perfect. Well, welcome, Trevor. Appreciate everybody. I got a question. How's orientation been for everybody so far? Is there anything that you'd like to see different? Things we can improve upon? What's everybody's thoughts on that? How's it been?
I think it's been excellent.
Yeah.
Everything about it.
Very well.
What have you guys liked about it so far?
You're not trying to sell us a lease.
No, I know that. But it's it's important to us. It's one of those where we put a lot of effort and time into making sure that this is successful for the drivers. It's beneficial, and the only way that we ever can grow and improve is if we know we need to do something to do that. So that's why we take the time to ask these questions. We're not trying to sell anybody on anything. We just want to make sure we're doing right by you guys. It's a tough job out there, and we know that. So we want to do the best we can for you.
So far, what I've noticed from the travel planning here, the application process, the recruitment, excellent. The place that we're lodging, excellent. Transportation wise, you guys have provided us with a vehicle if we need to do a few extra errands. That's amazing. The teachers, the people that we've met, just outstanding.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Thrilled.
Good.
And I appreciate the fact that it's not gone so fast that I'm constantly overwhelmed, but and that there's a lot of opportunity to ask questions. You don't feel rushed, and you feel heard.
That's good. We're glad to hear that. So one of the things I wanted to ask everybody, and you're welcome to answer or not, is what made you decide to do trucking? Why? It's a different breed, I think, than most jobs, and some of us, were kind of born into it and had parents or family members that did it, or what's the reason everybody chose to get into trucking?
Well, family.
Yeah.
Family did it, and that's where I.
Was it your dad or mom or grandpa?
Dad, one of my uncles was a Teamster.
Okay.
Moved up to president of Teamsters, and we just grew from there.
That's awesome, man.
And heavy haul and oversized. That's what we all did.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Cool. It's in the blood.
Yeah.
Yep. What about you?
For me, it's my mom, but mostly it's my stepfather.
Hmm?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I would ride in the truck with him and go to see all these different places, meet all these different people, and sorry, but it beats working in an office.
No, hey, no, I think, it's one of those where I've always said that there's a reason why I'm in the office and you guys are out on the road. It's one of those where I don't think I could do it half as well as the drivers do it, Everything I know is taught from you guys, so I'm right there with you, man. There's a reason why I'm in the office.
Plus, it also pisses off my dad, because when he asks me, what do? I go, well, the same thing that you told me when I was a little kid. I will never find a job to stare out a window. I drive a truck. I stare out the window majority of the time.
Well, good. I'm glad you like it, man.
I do love it.
What about you, Trevor?
Well, I've done warehousing and I hated it because it's like high school.
Yep.
But the only difference in trucking is you can just drive away from your problems.
All right.
Sounds stupid.
No, okay.
No.
Teach their own, man. I can respect that and get behind it.
And it's a lot different from city driving, from long haul driving. You just gotta have a hobby.
Yeah. Do you listen to like audiobooks or anything? Or?
No, I mean, you're sitting in that truck all the time. You gotta get out. I mean, You know, you gotta get compression socks. You don't wanna be driving and have a heart attack. You gotta get active.
Yep.
Especially after the job is over.
Mhm.
You always do it in the morning, so be too tired at the end of the day.
Yep. Good to know. What about you, Michelle?
I've always loved to drive since I was young. My father was a truck driver as well as my uncles and my grandfather. And I did many other types of careers. But once my children were grown, I decided to try trucking, and it's a perfect fit for me because every day is an adventure. And you get to see places that I may have never got to see before. And so I absolutely love it.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Again, a long family of truckers. My dad was a trucker, 2 uncles and an aunt. So I had a lot of that influence, but I went a different direction for the first 30 years of my adult life. And I've always been a wanderer. I've always been traveling. Like anytime I could get out the door to go somewhere, I was on the road. So I figured this would just be the perfect timing. Like she said, I waited till my kids were grown and retired from my previous profession and said, let's do it. I'm ready, because I've always wanted to do this.
Well, that's great. It sounds exciting.
I always said if I took a sabbatical, I would go trucking. Well, I just decided, screw the sabbatical, I'm just leaving completely.
Nice.
So.
Cool. It's always good to have new adventures.
Right.
So, what about you, Steve? Old timer.
What about me?
Yeah. How'd you get into trucking, man?
Well, I'm not the brightest pencil in the block, so doesn't take a whole lot to do it, be a truck driver.
I don't know about that, man. There's a lot to it. Depends on what you're doing, trip planning, running your logs right. If you end up on heavy haul and you're permitted, you got to follow your permits right. There's...
That's why I don't do anything. Well, I'm dyslexic, so I read backwards.
If in the blood, what?
Yeah, my dad did it. Then my biological dad started Ryder in Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
He was in trucking. My sister now works for ESTA or SD or whatever.
Yeah, yep.
She's a manager of that company in Fort Worth. Fort Myers, Florida.
Okay.
I just like doing it. I'm
Yeah.
basically my own boss. So, and like I said, I'm not too bright, so I can't sit behind a desk.
I don't know about that, man.
And try to read or do a computer thing or anything like that. So,
Okay.
I wasn't saying it doesn't take a lot to be a trucker, but
No, I know that.
I just meant it's easier than what sitting at a desk to me.
Yeah.
Once you get yourself used to what you got to do, you just do it.
Okay. I can respect that. One of the things I wanted to touch on is growth opportunities here. At Combined, we are really big on helping anybody and everybody from drivers to internal office staff to grow into what they want. So just because you might be in flatbed, Blackwell, running a dry van or reefer, even running on step deck, whatever it may be, we do try to set up successful paths for drivers to be able to grow. If you want to move up into heavy haul, we have ways to be able to do that. We have trainers. We have a flatbed training program that we implemented as well. So if you ever do find yourself wanting to move up, just let the manager or your dispatcher, whoever know, and we can start working you towards those career paths.
That's awesome.
Yep. And one of the other things I do want to touch on, this is going to be for everybody, is the importance of turning in PODs and paperwork in a timely manner to meet cutoff. And the reason for that is it helps you get paid, right? If you don't turn in your POD, you will not get paid on that load, because that's your proof of delivery. It shows that you completed it. And the ideal goal is you want to be able to arrive at destination, get it signed off, after the unload, and before you leave, transflow it in right away. Don't wait, because it's one of those where I've encountered it a number of times. Especially in driving, it's a lot of tight turns. Sometimes it's, hey, you're unloading, I need you to immediately head to this next stop. Well, that doesn't really leave a lot of time for anybody to do anything other than put their gear away and get rolling again, right? So taking that extra minute or two can be really impactful for you in terms of ensuring that you're not getting called, hounded, getting OBC messages to turn in your POD. So something to be mindful of, and keep an eye on your payroll cutoffs and turning your PODs in on time. So does anybody have like any questions at all or anything? Anything that hasn't been addressed yet so far? Anything at all?
As far as what you just said about you, I call my CT number.
Yeah.
The best way to do that is once you deliver it, once they sign it, send it in.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
That way there, you're not saying, yeah, I'll do it in a minute, now you're getting into something else and forget it. This way here, they sign it, take a picture of it, send it, and you're done.
Yep.
That's how I do it.
No, I can't agree more. And I mean, even I have that happen to me in the office. I'll like, I need to go do something, and then if I don't do it at that moment, I'm usually doing
Then you
4 or
get
5 different
distracted or
other
something
things,
else comes up.
and then
Yep.
by the end of the day, I'm like, oh crap, I got to do this, and I
Yep.
totally forgot. So
I've
go ahead.
experienced that before, where I would be so busy that I would say, okay, well, I'll do that later, I'll do that later. And then before you know it, I had this stack. And it was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about what this needed detailed or that, and then it gets overwhelming.
It can.
And so what I've trained myself to do now is, like you said, that's part of that load. Before you leave that dock, you've got that signed document, scan it now and transflow it over, and you're done. You can stick it in the envelope and it's taken care of.
Mhm.
You don't have to go back, and it's that load is over and completed. So that is one of the very most important parts of our job, is to just finish that right now.
Yep, I would agree. I would treat that as your load's not technically done until your POD is sent in.
Right.
I have a question for the more senior drivers. What do you think is wisdom you can pass along to younger drivers and newer drivers that would make them successful out on the road?
Don't lose your cool. Try to keep your head. Seriously, don't lose your temper.
No.
Pay
You just
attention,
screw some shit up when it
Yeah.
happens.
And
pay attention, stay off your cell phones.
Yeah.
yeah, and patience is a virtue.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yep.
just don't rush it.
Yep.
Whenever you try to get in a rush or try to get in a hurry, that's how you get hurt. That's how other people get hurt. Dude, just take your time. You get paid for it.
Yep.
So, just do it. It ain't worth it.
No, sound advice. I couldn't agree more. I think it's very important to try to keep a level head, and sometimes that's really hard to do. I mean, depending upon the situation that you're in, or dude, we're all humans. We wake up. Man, Steve.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, man. Yeah, it's one of those where sometimes, we wake up in bad moods. I mean, we're all human, right? We should all be given the grace that not every day is going to be the same day. And staying cool, calm, collected, and treating it as like wanting to have a conversation versus, going into it feeling defensive or wanting to attack or anything like that, I think is so critically important. It helps to know the why, right? If anybody is ever feeling like I'm frustrated, I don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
just ask the why. And if, anybody's going to give it to you,
Yeah.
and it goes a long way. Like, I want to know why I'm doing something. I don't want to just be blindly told to do it and go follow it. You know what I mean? That's,
Yeah.
At least for myself.
The best thing about this company is you can talk to anybody, and if they have the answer, they'll tell you. If not, they'll go, here's the person you need to talk to.
yep,
And if you got a question, ask him.
yes.
Yeah.
It's never dumb,
No.
Nope.
because you could get killed out here. You
Yeah.
just didn't want to ask that question.
Yeah, don't be scared to ask a question at
Ask
all,
it.
ever. And it's one of those where, I'll be the first. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you I do not know, and then I'll go find
Yeah.
out. I need to be able to know for myself to relay it to drivers, or just to have that information. Yeah, never be scared. And if it's like, I'm not sure if I need to take this exit, where I'm supposed to go, like how I'm supposed to do this, yeah, just ask always.
there's always another driver's delivered or went to that spot before you. Someone here at this place will tell you how to get in somewhere.
Yep,
Guaranteed.
Yep. There's definitely somebody that's always been there before. Yep. So, I mean, does anybody have any other questions, anything, any feedback at all?
Well, I know that we've been taking in a lot of information over the last few days, and so, and I feel like everyone here is gonna be pretty understanding if we do have questions, you know, that seem unpractical. But, I just hope that I get a list of everything that I'll need to grab for, you know, my starting.
Like gearing and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep. Somebody will walk you through all that and help that get sorted out for you. Yep,
Perfect.
we won't leave anybody hanging or stranded or feeling like there's not anybody here to help you. So,
Okay, good.
Yep. Anybody else? No? All right. Well, that's all I got, and I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you again. I know it's been a pretty busy week for everybody, and I'm sure